Every year, a lot of phone companies try to be unique with their new releases, but sometimes it feels like they just recycle ideas. And once in a while, a phone shows up that looks familiar, that makes you have a double take. This is the Infinix Note 60 Pro, and at first glance, I won't even lie, it almost looks identical to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. It is quite a bold choice that Infinix made, especially in this color amongst other colors. But design aside, there's a lot happening here. From what is going on the back of this phone, to the display, to the buttons, and even the software experience, there's quite a lot packed in here, both in features and in specs. So without further ado, let's get to the video. Right out of the box, you are greeted with a black compartment holding the same ejector tool, some paperwork, and a transparent phone case. Under that sits the phone itself, followed by the 90-watt power adapter, a USB Type-C cable, and a Type-C earpiece. You get pretty much all the essentials you need, and I do wish it came with a screen protector, but honestly, I'm not complaining. And yeah, that's pretty much everything in the box. Let's start with design. At first glance, I thought that this is such a nice phone. You know, it has a premium look, and it feels, especially when the transparent case is on. Let me put that on for you. When the transparent case is on, you get the idea. The first most fascinating part of this phone for me was the camera module. It is a dual camera setup. There's an LED light, and then there's what Infinix calls the active matrix display. Let me know if you can see that. You get a halo light ring and a pixelated display with multiple functions on here. Notifications, battery percentage, cute animals, but we'll get to all of that properly. The back is a mix of this smooth plastic and matte texture that gives it a clean look. What really elevates the overall feel is, again, the aluminum frame. That is what gives it the premium finish. Around the frame, you see these bands and these buttons. On the right side, you have the power button and the volume buttons. Right below them is the health sensor. I'm actually glad that they found proper use for that space there. And the results are quite accurate somewhat. On the other side, you get the one tap button. By default, it mutes and unmutes your phone. Interesting choice, but you can always change this function in the settings. Up top, you get the speaker grill, the sound by JBL inscription, and an IR blaster, as well as a mic. At the bottom, we have the dual SIM tray, a mic, the Type-C port, and the main speaker grill. Up front, you get the punch hole camera, and this phone has an on-screen fingerprint scanner. Let's talk about the active matrix display. This is a pixelated display at the back of the phone that shows you things like time, battery percentages, other useful details. So you can set this halo flashlight, and you can set it to come on during incoming calls, notifications, when you're charging, or even when a game starts. And then for the matrix display, you can choose animations. So you can choose things like cats, dogs, Simba, or icons whenever you're playing music. And it also shows your battery percentage when you're charging your phone or when you're powering on the device. And of course, you can turn these features off if you want to save your battery. But I think it looks cool just being there at the back of the phone in the camera bump section. Then there's the Matrix Mini Play. You can actually play games at the back of the phone. There are two built-in games, Dot Dash and Star Blast. You can read the instructions that come with it, and you can even change your playable character here. I think my personal favorite game is the Star Blast, where you tilt your phone using the gyroscope to control the game at the back of your phone. It's a pixelated Game Boy-esque type of game, and I think that is pretty cool, honestly. You can also adjust brightness levels for this back display, this rear display. For the matrix display, it is fun, it is different from what we know, and overall I really like the integration of that and the halo lights, especially the animations. Moving away from the rear display, let's talk about the actual display. You're getting a 6.78-inch 1.5K AMOLED display here. It has relatively slim bezels and a flat panel design. When I first powered it on, I saw, and when I saw the default wallpaper, I paused and I was like, Infinix. But then I saw the glass team UI and the custom toolbar, and everything points to one direction. Display quality is sharp. That 1.5K resolution makes a difference because text here looks clean. The icons here, they look clean. The icons are defined, and scrolling through social media feels smooth. I think the display is good, and the colors here are vibrant. The blacks are deep, respectfully, and the contrast is strong without being overly saturated. For gaming, especially for Call of Duty Mobile, the movements, it felt responsive. The details are quite clear, and the darker scenes, they hold up really well. And when you're watching movies or when you're watching stuff on YouTube, it feels immersive because of the screen size, 6.78 inches. It supports up to 144 Hz refresh rate, and you can switch between 60 Hz and 90 Hz or leave it on auto switch. Everything just feels fluid here. The brightness is also impressive. It is rated at 4500 nits, 4500 nits of peak brightness. Indoors, it is very bright, and outdoors, I'll say it's usable. It supports HDR video playback, which makes compatible content on this phone look very dynamic and very bright. You know how HDR content looks like, especially on somewhere like Instagram. One very useful feature that I found here is the motion sickness relief display feature. It places small moving dots along the edges of the screen that respond to vehicle movements using your gyroscope. The idea is to help your brain align with what you see, especially in the movement in the car, so that you don't get motion sick while you're using your phone. Not a bad idea. Of course, there's also eye care mode included. Let's talk build quality. Weighing the Note 60 Pro in the hand, it actually feels quite a little bit heavy, which should be the case because of the aluminum build here. There's still some plastic here, and trust me, that could be a plus. It feels like a solid phone, and the matte back plastic here could be a plus, especially when it comes to drops. With the protective case on though, it feels sturdy enough to handle everyday drops. Maybe you might get a dent or two without using a case. I think it's better to use a case since one comes in the box anyway. The display, however, is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 7i, and it's not bad. And it also has IP64 rating, so light rain splashes and dust exposure shouldn't be an issue right here. Overall, it holds up pretty well. Up next is the performance of the Note 60 Pro. We'll talk about performance. But before that, if you're finding this video useful so far, if you want more videos like this, please hit the like button and please hit the subscribe button for more videos. From me, it is absolutely free to subscribe. The Infinix Note 60 Pro runs on Snapdragon 7S Gen 4. That is a newer, more efficient chip, and you can tell, simple tasks like browsing, social media, switching between apps, or even having multiple tabs open in one browser, it still feels responsive. I played Call of Duty Mobile on this phone for a few hours, and the gameplay stayed stable without major frame drops. Load times are quicker and animations don't lag behind your finger at all. We actually shared this in the first reel that we made. But for gaming, Infinix includes something called X Arena, which basically works like a gaming hub. So if you want to find all the games, just open that and you can add games there. You can select what you want your phone to prioritize when it comes to gaming, so you can focus on performance or you can focus on battery life. The game mode also gives you options like blocking notifications, boosting performance, and fine-tuning your experience while you're playing games. Oh, and it also manages the heat during gameplay. If this phone gets warm, it hardly does that thanks to the chamber cooling system that they added here. It does get warm, but not as often. Something else that we did is 3D benchmark tests and an Antutu test. And the Antutu test results rank Infinix above the Infinix GT30 and the Pixel 6a. This is where you can see it in the ranking for performance. Gaming performance is stable here. Like I said, Call of Duty Mobile will run well without major frame drops. I don't know if I should credit it to stable internet, but it's actually decent. In terms of storage and memory, the phone comes with up to 250 GB of storage and 8 GB of RAM. You can also extend the RAM virtually by adding an additional 8 GB depending on your settings. There's no SD card slot here, so what you choose is what you get when you buy the phone. That is something to keep in mind before you buy this phone. It runs on XOS 16 based on Android 16.1. This update brings quite a few features, and honestly, there's a lot to explore here. I already mentioned the Glassing UI earlier, and I think it works well with what they have, like the dynamic bar. But beyond that, several system wallpapers, they look good, and you can sort of tell where the inspiration came from. The one thing I really liked though is something called depth perspective. What it does is that it creates a layered effect between your wallpaper and your icons or text. So certain elements appear in front while others sit behind. It adds a subtle 3D effect to the home screen, and it actually looks pretty nice. You can also customize your icons, change shapes, adjust sizes, and tweak the layout. Personally, I prefer the default look, but it's good that the options are there. I like that a lot. When it comes to multitasking, XOS makes it pretty easy. The standard stuff, you get floating windows, split screen support, and the smart panel for quick access. Think of this like a minimizer, but you can only do it for one app, and shortcuts. So whenever you want to switch between tasks or apps, just know that it's going to be pretty easy on here. There's also Ultralink here, and for those who don't know Ultralink allows you to make free phone calls, send texts, and send images for free to other compatible phones without relying on data or airtime. You also get a handful of AI features, and all of them are neatly organized inside the AI corner in settings, where you can learn how to use each one properly. Now let's talk about the cameras. You get only two cameras at the back, a 50 megapixel main sensor and an 8 megapixel ultra wide sensor. And the halo light is what looks like the third camera, but it's just the halo light. Anyway, this is how it looks in 4 different ranges. In good lighting, the photos are sharp and detailed. The colors, they look good without being overly artificial. The dynamic range is decent, so highlights and shadows are handled fairly well in balanced lighting. Image processing here is also quite good. Photos look good with decent contrast and consistent exposure. Skin tones appear natural, and there's a bit of detail retention when you zoom in. For editing, Infinix includes quite a set of built-in tools for you to work with, and there's the AI Studio that does a good job of enhancing images, so you get a few more options, including features like HD enhancement, AI eraser, and even something called reflection remover, which we tried and it doesn't look bad. There's also the live photo mode, which captures a short sequence when you take a picture. It can get quite blurry here. This one allows you to go back and choose your preferred frame from the burst. There's also a playback option and a few more options in your gallery for a quick preview. Portrait shots are good with fairly accurate edge detection and natural blur. The background blur looks natural most of the time, and subject separation is decent. For selfies, you have a 13 megapixel camera and it delivers good results. The selfies look good with the skin tones look natural. And in terms of video, the video performance isn't bad for the price range as well. So this phone, on both the front camera and the rear camera, can record up to 4K at 30 FPS. This is a video from the Infinix Note 60 Pro in 4K at 30 frames per second from the front camera. Let me know what you guys think about this video quality in the comments below. Thankfully, the phone has stabilization, and I'll say it's quite decent, especially while walking. This is stabilization footage, by the way. When it comes to audio, this phone features dual stereo speakers tuned by JBL. I'd say it delivers a decent experience, and by the way, the sound that you are currently hearing is from the Infinix Note 60 Pro. I'm actually recording a voice note right now. What do you guys think about this sound quality? Let me know in the comments below, and let's hear how the speaker sounds. When it comes to audio, this phone features dual stereo speakers tuned by JBL.
UAV recon standing by. Repeat, UAV recon is standing by.
Some people look at Sonny Hayes. They see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot, the best that never was. But I see possibility.
The sound is full, it's loud, it's balanced, and to be honest, the vocals are clear enough, and you can hear dialogues in movies well on here. The separation between the highs and the mids, they are noticeable, so for watching movies or playing games, this will hold up well. The good thing is that at high volumes, it stays relatively clear without breaking or distorting, and that is what you want actually. You also get a USB Type-C earpiece in the box, so in case you prefer using that, you have that option here. Now let's talk battery life. The phone comes with a large 6500 mAh battery, and honestly, while it took a while to drain this phone for our charging test, I think it was a good problem to have. With moderate to heavy use, you can comfortably get through a full day, and for lighter users, you can stretch this to the very next day. Now, let's talk about charging speed. This is our own charging speed. It comes with a 90-watt charger, and in our charging speed, it went from 0 to 100% in 53 minutes. And in just 30 minutes, it was already at 59%, almost 60% in 30 minutes, which is impressive for a battery this size, 6500 mAh. The Note 60 Pro also supports 30-watt wireless charging, which is a nice addition, especially at this price point. While we weren't able to test the full 0 to 100% when it comes to wireless charging because it might take a while, I think it's ideal for charging it overnight or topping it up during the day when you absolutely have no choice but to use wireless charging. Alright, Let's talk about the price. The 256GB plus 8GB RAM variant of this phone is around 499,983 naira. And there's also the 256 and 12GB RAM version. I'll have more accurate details of pricing in our pinned comment, so check that out. But for what it offers in terms of performance, the build, the extra features, I think that the pricing is fair. 500k is not small at all, and Infinix is capitalizing on that look to get you drawn in. And it's almost as if they're kind of giving you a premium look for a fraction of the price. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be right there chatting with you guys. Which one would you guys pick? There's Infinix and there's iPhone. Which one? Let me know in the comments.